What is up, DTube Hexicans? So today I want to do a video about day 3 here of 100 Days of Hex. Actually, it's already day 4. Time flies. But today I want to talk a little bit about this aspect that Hex is the coin. So Hex is the coin for the capitalist. Now, personally, when I've been looking at this, I think it's very, very important eventually in crypto that the number one coin in crypto is a truly capitalist coin. Now, what goes under the definition of a capitalist coin? Well, in this industry, it should probably be something that can produce yield. It can keep producing yield even without new people buying and selling. And what I mean with that is, so in Hex, you have this interest. The smart contract is calculating your interest and how much you should be getting paid. And what I like about this, the most fascinating aspect about this is it's not dependent on humans. There's no humans behind the scenes. It's locked code. Now, I think this qualifies Hex as a truly capitalist coin that a capitalist would be very interested in, because they would see, wow, if the brand just improves and the industry around Hex just improves, then you have a golden combination. Because with the smart contract, you remove these uncertainties that you have in other coins. Other coins always dependent on pumps and dumps. Always dependent on pumps and dumps, which means there's always going to be bad actors associated with a lot of these other projects. Maybe they get better in the future, but I don't. We can talk about that when they actually does get better. But Hex has this very, very cool capitalist concept of keep on printing forever. Keep on printing forever, and you solve that aspect where you can mainly focus on revenue and industry and brand building and scalability, because everything else code-wise is complete. Now, the number one coin in crypto right now, I wouldn't say it's a capitalist coin. It's it's a coin that is dependent on new entries coming in all the time, because the only way people making value in it is, so we know that this idea that people would use it as a currency, that kind of failed, so it's not getting value from that aspect. So it's kind of dependent on people, on the price going up, and that is kind of bad. If the price just stays the same, the holders are not getting anything because they're not getting any interest. So it kind of sucks to be a holder then in those other coins that are non-hex, that they can't just sit on it. And if the price, if for example in hex, if the price stays the same, you're still getting more coins, okay? Because you're still getting paid. Even if the price stays the same, even if the price goes down, you're still getting more coins. And I think that this is major key why Hex doesn't at the moment have any competition at ever or whatsoever on the market. So I think it's very important that the number one coin is a capitalist coin, and I think that Hex is going to flip a Bitcoin. I think it's pretty inevitable, because already $1 billion market cap, and not even 1 year into this this smart contract, I would say that that is extremely interesting, because Bitcoin, it did take more than 1 year to reach $1 billion market cap. And so a capitalist coin should be number one, especially for the new 2020s decade. I buy new smartphones and they're amazing. Why are they amazing? Because of capitalism. Because Samsung and Apple is investing a lot of money into research and development to make their devices faster and smarter, and more. They give more incentive for you to buy the product. So for example, with my new MacBook Pro, it has this touch bar at the top. And why that is so amazing, I mean, it's a nice user experience. The computer is way better than my last MacBook Pro. and it is because Apple is investing a lot of time, energy, resource into making the brand more awesome, making their product more awesome. And yeah, capitalism basically works. Capitalism works. It has outcompeted everything else. Capitalism has outcompeted everything else. So why wouldn't capitalism work in crypto? Capitalism will work in crypto as well, because everything is about, are you competent? How can you build competent systems? Is computer code competent if it doesn't pay you daily interest? It is, to be honest, when it comes to money and digital money, if it can't pay you on a daily basis, 2020, that is not that good system. Okay, very cool as a concept when you couldn't have interest maybe a few years ago, maybe in if we would say maybe even 2012, 2013, sure, you have these concepts of digital value. And now we see how that kind of played out, and that nobody is really using that because I don't know, they don't see the incentive. Maybe more people would see incentive to use those earlier cryptos like Bitcoin, for example. Maybe more people would see a reason to use it if the community was more cool. Maybe that actually would work, because I think that cool things work, cool people work. But if I look at the Bitcoin community and the Bitcoin space, I don't see that many cool memes. I don't see that many cool people. So how are they gonna, and also if you want to get access to Bitcoin, this is something that people don't talk about that much. It's still super complex. It's super complicated because the main actors in crypto that are trading Bitcoin and a lot of this nonsense, they are bad actors. They're basically criminal actors. So Binance and Huobi, for example, that have done horrible things and have a horrible track record in the cryptocurrency industry. Those are some of the top guys that are kind of being admired in the Bitcoin and the crypto community. And I think it's a shame to humanity that um, people can't see, okay, if you're seeing a bad actor like Binance doing something horrible in the industry, like doing a Steam hostile takeover, if you see that and you still pretend that they're your friend, that's kind of weird, dude. They're not your friend. Like, if they're not even a friend to the crypto community, they destroyed lives when they decided to attack the Steam community and ruin that brand. They destroyed life. Binance has destroyed life with what they're doing. And they're probably going to destroy even more life with their margin trading platform, their 100x systems. So it's like, why is the Bitcoin community looking up to this? It's kind of sad, to be honest. And I mean, it's weird, right? It doesn't seem like Bitcoin has the coolest party in crypto anymore. If they would have the coolest party in crypto, they would probably not be gatekeeping HEX so hard. So HEX is still being gatekept, super intense, super hard from all of those actors that are too lazy or basically too incompetent to actually see to use basic logic and to see what something really is all about. So I'm gonna drink some. Oh my god, chocolate milk is so good. Let's talk a little bit about the earlier Bitcoin vision, okay? Because okay, let's be real, okay? Capitalism. How do you tie capitalism to Bitcoin when Bitcoin is already this like pseudo product where nobody really knows what it is? It started off as, okay, it's going to be peer-to-peer digital cash, but nobody's using it like that. And then they started to, there were a few people that were trying to build on Bitcoin, like Tether and Omni, and they eventually like, yeah, the people that were trying to build on Bitcoin, Tether, and Omni, they moved on to something else. Merchants tried to do something with Bitcoin. It didn't really work. They did something 2013, 2014, and then they stopped using Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin is this weird thing where only the traders are involved and kind of speculating on the Tether BTC pump, which is probably pretty shady because if Tether crashes, you may see a BTC crash. And it's mainly just the main Bitcoin community now is just these traders that are just speculating on the price. And it's only they're not interested in building a brand. They're not interested in mainstream adoption. They're not interested in scaling. They're not interested in memes. They're only interested in short-term money on pumps and dumps of BTC, and then telling themselves a very, very fancy story that something else is going on. So is traders, I would say traders is a liability now for cryptocurrency because they're making the brand worse. Like they're diluting the brand of Bitcoin. And if that's the only community, the traders, then we're never going to reach scale. We're never going to reach the mainstream masses because they see that there's just a bunch of nonsense people that are associated with this thing. Other weird things. So, yeah, so it's like, and it's a weird situation. So it's not really capitalism. Like Bitcoin is not really capitalism because no merchants are using it, no people using it for digital cash. Everyone is just now pretending it's like digital gold. Digital gold without interest, that kind of sucks, you know? So you can't ever have any interest. You can never be paid interest with Bitcoin. You have to lend your Bitcoin. If you lend your Bitcoins out to a centralized third party, you may be able to get maybe a few measly percent per year. But this comes with like massive risks, and you're involving multiple blockchains, multiple tokens, multiple blockchain based companies, third parties. Like we're trying to get away from using third parties and middlemen and everything. And you have so many middlemen, you have so many third parties with Bitcoin, all the exchanges and all of these like pseudo so-called Bitcoin companies that doesn't even realize that the Bitcoin brand is becoming a liability. It's becoming a liability to associate with Bitcoin because it sucks. Okay, it's traders, they're wrecking people every day. That's not good. That doesn't create a healthy ecosystem. It creates yeah, it's just bad for people. So okay, so a capitalism coin like HEX would be perfect to be number one in crypto because it would make the world a better place. Because you're making these new whales right now, 2020, they're paying attention. They're paying attention right now. So we're making thousands, probably thousands of new whales. And when we have these whales right now paying attention, listening, they have massive incentive right now for this to succeed because they are becoming a whale right now. That means that they have the funds right now. That means they can look at, okay, what has worked in capitalism? Maybe we should try to use capitalism here and do what capitalism did, and we just do it in crypto. And I think it actually can work. It's all about building a brand. It's all about building an industry. It's all about scalability. It's all about awareness. It's all about the connections. It's all about learning. It's all about knowledge. It's all about truth also, digging deeper into truth. And yeah, digging deeper into truth that maybe some things would be good if we got them eventually, like privacy features. Maybe we're gonna get that with Ethereum. Some of these things the Bitcoiners don't even want to touch. They don't even want to talk about that they're probably never gonna get privacy features with their Bitcoin. And maybe it's nice to have some privacy features, maybe, you know? So I would say that the hex moment a lot is kind of like a lot also about truth, okay? And I love it with audited code, smart contract code that's logical, audited. Everyone can go and look at the code. It's a complete project, no expectations, no promises. Isn't that amazing? Because everything else in crypto has expectations, has promises. I was only interested in when I came into crypto, like, okay, so cool, we can like print money. We only need the best game theory system. And I've been considering, can anything be better than the share price system, the way HEX works with exponential share price system? With the share price always going up, with that share rate aspect and the amazing data that you have in HEX, Is there any way to build even better game theory to do even a better system? At the moment, I haven't found anything. Like, this is really everything I think most people actually would desire in a system. Amazing data. You can look at data about what other people are doing, with how they're interacting with the smart contract. You can look at everything in real time, and it creates a lot of interesting transparency. Yeah, I love the idea of capitalist coin as number one. You look at Federal Reserve, you look at all these banks printing like crazy. Okay, they've been doing these for hundreds of years, or at least 100 years. Obviously, we can do the same in crypto because they did it. So of course we can do it too. We're living in an interesting time. So yeah. You also have this other interesting aspect when you're moving more into logic. And that is, I mean, you see all the games other players are playing, and you see like the bad actors, they're super exposed now. For example, I just noticed that Binance and Huobi, they're doing the same mafia tactics that they did with the DPoS age and the ICO boom 2017. But now they're hyping up DeFi coins, DeFi trash coins that is not so transparent. And you can see so obvious, okay? Now we're seeing these corrupt actors, what they're doing again, and they're doing the same nonsense as they did in the past. And if you look at the mainstream, those people that fell for most of the ICO stuff, they're again falling for fake DeFi. HEX is the only true DeFi that I have found. If I find anything else that is just as amazing as HEX, I'm probably going to talk about it, but I haven't found it at the moment. So you're seeing these corrupt actors like Binance and Huobi starting to pump these DeFi coins. And yeah, it's weird, and it is weird how intense people are ignoring HEX, especially the crypto YouTubers. They hate capitalism for some reason. They greatly dislike capitalism, but yeah, at the moment it looks like a capitalism coin. It's gonna flip Bitcoin. It's gonna flip XRP. It's gonna flip a Bitcoin Cash. If you look in the top charts now on nomics.com, if you look at the top coins, they're starting to take market share. Chainlink, it's a hexagon. Cardano, it has a hexagon. Hexagons are flipping Bitcoin Cash and XRP very, very soon. And if you go to Cointelegraph homepage, it's a very weird thing because they need to change their top navigation bar because they're listing coins like EOS there and Litecoin there. I think Litecoin is top 8 or 9 coin. EOS is top 13 coin last time I checked. They shouldn't be linking these coins. So they have 5 coins on the front page, and one of them is kind of like a scam like XRP that hasn't. Their XRP and Ripple, they're saying on their website that they have 300 financial institutions involved. That there is nothing, there's no proof of that. There's no proof of that, and that there's also no proof of the X rapid action that anyone is using this. If they can make proof of it, that it actually is 300 financial institutions that are using XRP and Ripple, that would be kind of cool. But at the moment, Cointelegraph on their website, they list like nonsense on the front page, top 5 coins. So XRP should be not there, Litecoin should not be there, Bitcoin Cash should not be there, EOS should not be there. EOS, they said a bunch of things, they would do a bunch of cool things. It never really happened. And they raised billions and nothing really happened. And it's top 13 coin. So I think Cointelegraph eventually on their homepage, they should list HEX, maybe Chainlink, maybe Cardano. I think most of the Chainlink stuff is pretty nonsense, but probably it's a little bit better nonsense than what goes on with Bitcoin Cash and EOS and XRP. And what more? Yeah, Cardano, maybe they're doing something. I don't really know. Like, but at least it's something fresh. At least, yeah, as I said, maybe it is a little bit less nonsense than Bitcoin Cash and XRP. I actually think it may be a little bit less, okay? But eventually on Cointelegraph homepage, they're just going to have capitalist coins that can prove that they can do something amazing. And I think the hexagons, HEX, Chainlink, Cardano, Crow, Crypto.com, I think they're trying to do something. I see a rise up of hexagon projects, with a lot of it also tied to Uniswap. I don't know. It's interesting. So why will capitalism run over these earlier cryptos? Because these earlier cryptos has no marketing. They're not reaching the mainstream masses. Nobody has incentive to market Bitcoin to anyone, because they're probably not going to be cash positive because the brand sucks. And it's expensive to make an amazing brand and to build brand awareness and to scale a brand. This is kind of complex. This is very, very expensive. It's very, very pricey, and nobody can afford it with Bitcoin. And the exchanges that market Bitcoin, they only market it so people go and sign up for a centralized exchange, and then they get screwed over, either in like margin trade or some other nonsense, or buying some other shit coin that people said would pump, or that were doing something real. But most likely that coin on that exchange, most of the coins on centralized exchanges sucks. They don't have anything of value, and they have no real market. HEX has a real market, certificate of deposits. It's something that exists already in the real world, and it's worked amazing for trillions of dollars. So if that already works there, we can probably do it in crypto, and it's a financial product. So it's the perfect match. So yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. So I think a capitalist coin is gonna flip Bitcoin. Seems pretty obvious, because whoever gets to scale first are gonna win. It's just that easy. Okay, have an awesome day. DT.